Hello. Oh, it's on. Happy New Year, everybody. Sorry, I'm exactly on time. Wow, this has got a lot of reverb. Welcome to the first Nuisance Abatement Board meeting of 2022. We made it. Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. You want to start us with the Pledge of Allegiance, Detective? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I guess let's go ahead and do the roll.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Lindsay.
Present.
Thank you. Robert Fanoff.
Present.
Joel Slotnick.
Present.
Slotnick. Paula Yukna. Absent.
Absent today.
John Foreman.
Present.
Did we get everybody?
I think that was
Looks like we have a quorum.
perfect. And do we have a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from our December meeting.
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say nay. Hearing none. Motion is approved as it stands. Let's go ahead and move to the first case of the evening, which is case number 200902, 3031 West Commercial Boulevard, Hometown Studios Hotel. Detective, you want to start with the status update?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The owner of this property is DWCLV LLC, and they were mailed legal notice of tonight's meeting on December 13th, 2021. Police-related incidents for the last 30 days totaled 22, with 0 being nuisance-related. There were 2 calls from last month referenced. One was a narcotics call. Police officers went to the location and found nobody using any drugs at that time. No report was made. So that was one of the calls. And another call they had was shots fired from the property. That was January 1st. And again, no report was made on that one. Nothing found. So there was a total of 22, with 0 being nuisance related. I spoke with the general manager, Mr. Tariq Khan, in regard to the detail that is there 2 days a week at the property. And Mr. Khan is here tonight, the general manager, along with Mr. Rob Powell, who is the district manager for the property. This is the first time he's been in the meeting, and he's up in Orlando, so it's nice to have him down here. I also spoke with the officer, Jim Hayes, who was the detail coordinator, and he stated he will try to have the officer there 2 days together, Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Saturday. And the detail officer basically tries to switch it up so it's not the same every week. Try to, make it a little bit confusing for people when they're there and when they're not there. So it's not the same every week. The property is in compliance at this time, and I recommend a status hearing for the month of February 2021. And I believe this property will come off at jurisdiction in April. So we got a few more months to go. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. The people that are calling in, like for the drugs and stuff, do they give a name or are they calling anonymous? Because my question to that would be, is it somebody who's just being upset, not valid? They're just looking to make trouble or something.
I mean, it could be, but that particular call that I told you about the drugs, there was a first name of Terry.
Okay.
The shots fired was an anonymous call.
Or any of these repeat calls, like has Terry called to complain about anything before?
Not during the 30 days I just did.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Anybody else on the board? Any questions? All right. Let's move on to the next item on the agenda, which is case number 21. Thank you so much, Mr. Khan. Robert.
Thank you.
Case number 210802, 2935 North Federal Highway, America's Best. Go ahead with the status meeting there, Detective.
Thank you. The owner of the property is Fairwinds Motel, Inc., and they were mailed legal notice of tonight's meeting on December 13th, 2021. Police-related incidents for the last 30 days totaled 17, with 0 being nuisance-related. The property owner, Mr. Sean Patel, is here tonight. I visited the property several times over the last 30 days. In particular, this Saturday on the 8th, I was driving past this property when I observed 3 police cars in the parking lot. Police were at the property in reference to a black female that was threatened by a black male with a handgun. The handgun was believed to have been passed off to bystanders prior to the police arrival. The officers were finally able to review the video footage, but could not confirm if the firearm was used or not. The male half involved in this dispute was arrested for an outstanding warrant. I want to remind Mr. Patel tonight, the property owner, that anyone that is arrested from his property will not be allowed to come back on the property for any reason. And I know that's one of the police recommendations and that he stipulated to. So I just want to put it on record that he knows, obviously, that they cannot be back on that property if they're arrested. And I also noticed that the building has still not been painted yet. So I don't know if he's still waiting for the paint to come in. But at this time, the property is in compliance, and I recommend a status hearing for the month of February 2022. Any other questions regarding that?
I do have a question. The people who are basically trespassed from coming back, do you have pictures of these people that are in the office where if they were to go to check in, what kind of measures are being taken to ensure that these people are not returning?
Right. The measures that I expect from the officers is to, when they make an arrest, and they were told anytime an arrest is made on the property, that the property owner, Mr. Patel, is aware of that name. So that way, at least he has the name if that person ever tries to check in again.
What if they use a different name?
They could.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean,
Maybe
yeah.
facial, have a picture or something that this person is trespassed.
That's something we can talk about if okay, it sounds like he wants to speak. If we can probably.
Do we need to swear him in?
We need to swear him in
Yep.
first.
No, I can't.
Madam Clerk can do that.
I don't remember what I'm supposed to say. Do you
Do you-
swear to tell the whole truth,
There you go.
the truth?
Why don't you stand up, raise your right hand. Yeah.
Sir, there's a mic over there? Okay. Thanks so much, Mr. Patel.
Hang on before you go.
Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. Can I speak here, or?
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Can I have your sign in? Just give me your name, that's all I need.
Is that mic on?
Yes, it's on.
It is. Okay, good.
If you have it. Thank you.
Speak here? Speak
Yeah,
here?
right into the microphone.
That Saturday where Detective Menales was talking, those were not guests of our hotel. I was the one actually called the police because 2 vehicles came in, and one was that male who got arrested, and the other was the female, and they started fighting in the parking lot. And me and my maintenance man actually went there and called the police and stayed there and waited for them. So we have no registration, we have nothing on them. They were actually trespassing on our property and creating a scene. And we called 5 times. I think the records, out of those 17 calls, probably 5 of those were us on that day alone for that problem. So we have no registration for them, or they were not guests of our hotel.
Understand, thank you.
Is there any?
Know why they were there?
Yeah, that was the
They
question.
they just stopped in there. I don't know if
That
they
makes
want,
sense.
they may have wanted to check in. They may have wanted to check in, and they were in the parking lot for quite a while, and then I see them both come out and start fighting in the middle of the parking lot. And that's when we approached them, and they wouldn't stop, and then I called the police, my maintenance man called police, the office called the police. I called about 3 times.
Now, how long do you maintain your occupant records? If
Uh,
someone checks in, how long will you have that in your system?
In my system, at least 7 years.
Okay, have you seen whether or not you had any record of either of those individuals having
No,
stayed
I've
there?
not used, I'm there every day, so I would kind of recognize them of ever, being there, but, even me or my maintenance man or my front office, never seen them.
Okay,
They look like they were just fresh blood coming to maybe rent a room or maybe just argue there.
sure.
And they knew each other?
I'm sorry?
The two individuals
They knew each
seemed
other,
to.
yeah,
Okay.
they said that they were, but the thing was that the guy who was there, he had another female in his car. Oh, sorry. The gentleman who was there had a female with him, and then the other female, so I don't know if that female followed them there and caught maybe him trying to cheat on her.
Might have
And
found the.
argument started because there was 2 females and 1 male.
But it was just the male that was detained. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was just the male that was detained and the female left, yes. And we put a trespass on her, and then, well, he got arrested.
Got it.
But I was out there and I didn't see any weapons. I even told the officers that I was there with him while they were arguing. I saw no weapons involved.
Sure.
And he was actually the one that was more calmer than her. She was the one that was out of control.
Yeah, he probably didn't want to get arrested.
Yeah, yeah, that was it.
Just to let the board know, on that day, on the 8th, we had a suicide threats made, 2 disturbance calls, the one possible wanted person that the person was arrested, and a vandalism. So that was the 5 calls total on that day.
The vandalism was
yeah.
of a hotel room.
Vandalism?
It was of like a hotel room, or
Was it inside or outside
No,
the
no.
property?
The person who attempted suicide, he was from Jacksonville. He checked in like 3 in the morning, and about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, he called the police. And
Got
that's when they arrived. And he just said he was going to commit suicide, but they came in and they
Sure.
took him.
sure.
That's what happened. So he was a guest for maybe 6 hours.
Mhm.
The vandalism call, I didn't pull the report on that
Okay.
one. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if he knows anything about the vandalism call. Must have
Okay.
been another
Okay.
Yeah.
incident.
The only vandalism that happened is that they pried the door open and gave me a report. I don't know if that's the only damage that I know of. That the
Mhm.
door got damaged.
Got it.
Now, what is the status of the paint? I know
Painting.
it-
Yep.
many
Actually,
houses-
actually, the painters started back today. The walls are done, the doors are done. They're doing the window trims. The only thing that's left is the railings and the sidewall and the sidewalk. That's it.
Sure.
And then once they're done, then the parking lot people are coming to do the paving of the parking lot.
Great.
Thank you for your
Thank you so
diligence.
much.
Great.
Any other questions?
I don't think so. No. Okay, let's move on to our last item, which is just board discussion. Does anybody have anything to bring up? Anything that we need to talk about?
Just
Nope.
wanna let- February 10th will be our next meeting.
Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Hearing none, let's go ahead and adjourn tonight's meeting. Looking forward to see you guys on February 10th. Thank you all so much. Thank you,
you.
Mr. Patel, for being here.